If you're looking for a quiet town right in between a peaceful river and the foothills with really nice neighborhoods and parks and a great family atmosphere, Star, Idaho could definitely be the place for you. And that's what this video is going to be about. I'm going to break down everything about Star to see if it's going to be the right fit for you. We're going to look at everything from schools to hospitals, shopping, restaurants, things to do in Star, everything about Star. Also some pros and some cons about living in Star. First things first, where is Star? Star is situated about 20 minutes northwest of Boise on the north side of the Treasure Valley, right up next to the foothills, and spans all the way down to the Boise River. The lifestyle in Star is hugely centered around outdoor family living, and the whole town really revolves around that. For starters, Star is situated right on the Boise River, which brings an endless array of opportunities with it. One of the most popular things to do is definitely going to be floating the river, and there are a ton of access points to make that possible. You can chill on an inner tube and float down the river with a drink if that's your thing, and it can be as relaxing or exciting as you want it to be. The nice thing about the Boise River is that it's a fairly safe river to float on as far as floating rivers goes. However, it is still water, so you need to take precautions when you're doing that. But another huge activity on the Boise River and Star is one that I've actually been getting into quite a bit the last couple of years, and that's going to be fly fishing. The Boise River is becoming very well known for being a very productive fly fishery. From Star all the way into downtown Boise, Fish and Game even stocks salmon or steelhead. Not sure what the terminology is or the difference between the two, but it is a very productive trout fishery. When it comes to fly fishing, there are several fly fishing shops all up and down the Boise River. So if that's your thing, I would definitely check out the Boise River and Star and see if you can't rip some lips. But if you're wanting to stay dry but still be next to the river and experience that in the river feel, then Star has its very own river walk, which is super nice. It's a really nice greenbelt park style area right next to the Boise River. And especially right now when I'm filming this, it's October the 30th. We are in full fall. The leaves are changing. It is absolutely my favorite time of the year. I am always preoccupied in the fall, whether it's out hunting, fishing, anything like that. I just got home from an elk hunt last week where I got my very best bull elk to date, and I probably won't ever beat it. But fall is my absolute favorite time of the year, so I highly encourage anybody, if you like to get out and experience fall, true fall, not the summer, winter, but you get to see the leaves changing in between, the Star River Walk is an amazing place to do that. But there's even more outdoor recreation in Star than just the Star River Walk, because the town is constantly adding more and more and more parks every single year. And the biggest one, the coolest one in my opinion, is actually the Star Freedom Park. It's got a huge swimming pond right in the middle of it, big sandy beaches. I think they're even adding pergolas. It's right next to the park. It is really awesome. They have a dock that floats out in the middle. You can jump off of it. You can take your kayaks, paddle boards out there, paddleboard in the summer, and it is drawing tons of people from all around the valley to go there, especially during the summer when it was really hot and I was filming out there. And I could go on for days about each of the individual parks in Star. They just got the very own splash pad and new dog park, but I don't want to spoil it for you, so I'm going to let you check that out for yourself when you actually come to check out Star. But with that name, Freedom Park, it's going to lead us into the next thing about Star. And in my opinion, Star has got to be the most patriotic town in the Boise area for sure, and probably west of the Rocky Mountains. It doesn't matter what time of the year you drive through Star, any road that you drive down in Star, you're going to see American flag, American flag, American flag. Doesn't even have to be the 4th of July, whether it's businesses, personal residences, grocery stores, anything like that. Flag poles throughout the town, street signs, you're going to see American flags driving through. I encourage you to try, when you go and drive through Star, just to count how many flags. You're probably going to see more in one drive than you've seen in the last month. But with that, on the 4th of July, the 4th of July is by far Star's favorite holiday. Actually, the entire Boise area's favorite holiday, but Star gets pretty crazy on the 4th of July. They have huge parades. They've got fighter jets flying over, American flags all over the place. There's even one place went and filmed, they painted their yard American flag. Really, really cool. But the large amount of patriotism is going to bring us into one of the next things about Star, is that a lot of the folks who are looking to move to Star or have moved to Star, or the clients that I've worked with, or even just talking with people who have lived in Star, I would say 9 out of 10 of them are in the public service sector, whether they're firefighters, police officers, paramedic, private security, any of that kind of stuff. Those folks really love Star. There is a huge back the blue sentiment in the entire Boise area, but really in Star, so it really leads to a safe community feel, and it's just a great place to live.
This is a great place to live.
Just this summer, I actually did an interview with the Caldwell Chief of Police in Caldwell, and he relocated to the area from California. And one of the questions that I asked him was how the community sentiment is in other places versus here in Idaho.
I know in some other states, from talking to folks, the community sentiment towards law enforcement is quite a bit different than it is here.
This community in Idaho alone is the most, I would say, back the blue or first responder friendly community.
And if you guys want to see that whole interview, you can go and watch that in my Caldwell, Idaho video. I will have it linked in the description down below. Like I was mentioning earlier, Star is situated right at the base of the Boise foothills. And the nice thing about that is there is a ton of public land in the foothills that people love to use, BLM land, for hiking and tons of other activities. And that's one of the huge reasons that people just love Star so much, is because they have quick access to all these outdoor amenities. There's one app that I'm going to recommend you download on your phone, and it's going to help you whether you decide to stay in Star, check out Star, or just Idaho in general. It's called OnX. Technically, it's a hunting app, and that's why I know it. I'm not sponsored by OnX or anything like that, so I have no horse in the race in telling you to download this. It's just extremely useful. I use it pretty much every day from September through January, just because I am hunting so much, and it'll tell you all of the different property owners, so you can see what land is public, what land is private. There's a free version, there's a paid version. I use the paid version, but you absolutely don't have to. It's just really helpful to help you get out and enjoy the public land that we have here in Idaho. In Idaho, we really love cars and race cars. And just to the north of Star, there is a huge racetrack. It's not a circle track, it's actually a drag strip. And in Idaho, drag strip means something totally different than in Oregon and Washington. However, we're not going to get into that. There's a variety of different types and levels of drag races that go on there throughout the entire summer. From everyday Joes just trying to get a good time in their hot rod to professional like drag racers with the jet engine on the back of their car flying down that track. It's a great place to go out and just watch with your family. It books out every time I'm there. I mean, just about every single weekend. The stands are absolutely full, but I do need to remind you to take earplugs because it gets really loud. And if you watch the Discovery Channel, you probably are familiar with the name Street Outlaws. It's some sort of drag racing TV show, and they filmed 3 episodes as far as I know. 2 for sure, possibly 3 out there at that racetrack, and I'm sure they're going to come out and film even more, which just goes to attest how popular this drag racetrack is. Now, if you want a more close to nature feel, just outside of Star, there is a huge state park right in Eagle to the west of Star. It's probably 15 minutes tops drive down State Street from Star, and that is Eagle Island State Park. It is a huge 550-acre state park that is an island right in the middle of the Boise River. They've got everything out there from hiking trails, a huge disc golf course, probably the best disc golf or frisbee golf course in the entire Boise area. They've got fishing ponds, swimming ponds. They used to have a water park there, but I don't think it's up and running anymore. They have zip lines, all sorts of stuff, but it is going through a huge facelift right at the moment. They're putting in like 3 or 4 brand new lakes in there for fishing, kayaking, paddleboarding, all that stuff. They're putting in campsites. They're putting in RV like campsites with the full hookup and everything. So they are really putting a ton of money and effort into Eagle Island State Park to really make it a destination place. Now, because it is a state park, there is an entry fee. It's like $6, I think. Nothing crazy, but I'm going to give you this tip. When you go to register your car here in Idaho, you're going to have an option to get an Idaho State Parks passport, and it's like $10. Get it. It's worth it. That $10 sticker, you just put it in the window of your car, and it gets you unlimited entries to not only Eagle Island State Park, but any of the state parks in the entire state of Idaho. So for $10, you can get unlimited entries, or you can pay $6 every time you go. Choice is yours, but I'm trying to save you quite a bit of money here. If you're more of a wine connoisseur, then Star could definitely be a place that I would seriously consider because it is really close to one winery just on the north end of Star, Dude DeWalt Winery, that is a great place to go. But in addition to that, the entire Boise area is just booming with wineries. Over the last 10 years, we've had I want to say 100 new wineries coming to the area because the Boise area is just perfect for growing grapes. In fact, I've heard that the wineries in Idaho are starting to compete with Napa Valley. Like Idaho is the next Napa Valley. Just putting that out there. So if you like wineries and like being close to wineries, I would definitely give Star a serious look, and especially the Dude DeWalt winery. But if you like getting more active instead of going to that wine thing, Star has several golf courses throughout the town where you can go out and spend hours, and they are really great golf courses. And you've got great views. You've got the foothills, the Boise Mountains. You can see all the trees near the Boise River. It is a really nice place to play golf. But in addition to that, there's like 30 golf courses just outside of Star within 30 minutes of Star. So if you like to get out and throw around a golf, definitely give Star a consideration as well. Schooling in Star is one of the huge pros that families love about living in Star. For starters, Star is part of the West Ada School District, which encompasses the majority of the Boise area. You're going to have towns like Meridian, Boise, Eagle, Garden City, and Star are going to be a part of the West Ada School District. Star has two schools, Star Elementary School and Star Middle School, which are great schools, very highly rated. There is currently no high school in Star, so the students in high school are going to Eagle High School, which is great. A lot of people like that about living in Star because Eagle is the highest rated public school in the entire Boise area. There is a new high school just to the south of Star called Owyhee High School. I think it's going on year 4, I think. And that is another great school that students from Star can go to. And with the growth in Star, we are seriously seeing some congestion, especially in just the two schools that are there, the Star Elementary and the Star Middle School. So I would definitely anticipate in the near future a new elementary school, if not a new middle school as well. But with the projected growth of Star, I would seriously anticipate a new high school coming to Star within the next several years. I want to take a moment to pause, and if you guys are finding any of this information useful, do yourself a huge favor and subscribe to the channel, or even reach out to me via text if you have any questions about relocating to the Boise, Idaho area. I'd love to chat. When it comes to major roads in Star, we can start to see things get a little bit tricky. Now, if you've watched my other videos about the entire Boise area, it is very easy to get around. The entire road system is built on a grid-like structure, north and south, and then along with east and west, and we've got some seriously large natural landmarks that you can use to keep your bearings. We've got the Bitterroot Mountains on the east, we've got the Owyhee Mountains on the south, and we've got the Squaw Butte on the north side of town, so it's very, very difficult to get lost. However, as we get into Star, that's where things get a little bit tricky. You've really got two main roads in Star, and then the rest just kind of squirrel all over the place. You've got Highway 44, which is going to be your main road, and that is going to run east and west through town, which runs all the way through Eagle into downtown Boise on the east, and then it goes over to the town to the west, which is Middleton. Star Road runs north and south, which many people like to utilize to get to all the amenities in the south end of Star, like Nampa, Idaho. Now, probably the most important road for Star's future is going to be Highway 16, which is on the east side of Star, and it runs north and south. It connects the town to the north of Star, which is Emmett, down to Highway 2026. And for years, it would just end at 2026, so it was never really a major thoroughfare for anything. However, the most recent project is to take it from 2026 down to Interstate 84, and this is going to be massive for Star, because before this, there isn't a direct route to get to Star. You kind of have to go from Interstate 84 and then go through one of the other towns, go through Meridian or Nampa, then Eagle or Boise to get to Star. But this is going to create a highway route basically to get straight into Star. So we're going to see some huge growth coming to Star because of this. And with that growth is going to lead us into more traffic and congestion, which is one of the major cons about living in Star. Right now, like I was saying, Star really only has two major roads, Highway 44, which runs east to west through Star, and that only had one light for years. They recently got a couple more lights, so there's like 3 lights in Star. But remember I mentioned that there's a town to the west of Star, Middleton. Well, all of the residents of Middleton use Highway 44 to get from the Boise area, or the Boise side of town, all the way over to Middleton, which brings all of them right through Star. Highway 44 isn't a huge road. It's typically 2 lanes, 1 lane each way, and metered by those lights, we seriously see some traffic and congestion when people are coming back after work or picking up their kids. So that 3 o'clock to 6 and 7 o'clock time frame, traffic really gets backed up on that Highway 44. In addition to that, Star Road is the other major thoroughfare after Highway 16 to get into Star from the south end of town. Well, you have the Boise River on the south side of Star, so obviously you need a bridge to get over that. And at the moment, it's only a 2-lane bridge, 1 lane each direction. So we have these natural choke points that are coming in and out of Star that really create congestion. And the way that the town is built up already, it makes it extremely difficult if we are ever going to see those be able to be widened. So I would anticipate and expect you to anticipate that that congestion is going to get even worse, because I don't see an easy way to get around those natural choke points. Since Star is such a newly developing town, the majority of the housing market is going to be made up of new homes and new construction homes. There are a couple subdivisions in Star from when Star got its start, and those are going to be from the late 90s and early 2000s. However, like I said, they make up a small portion of what is available. I had several clients that I was working with over the summer, and they were looking at Star, and they specifically wanted those older subdivisions in Star simply because of the maturity of that neighborhood. They knew for that price point they were going to be giving up that brand new shiny home, but at the same time they loved the mature landscaping of the neighborhood, the tall trees. They just love that aspect of it, and a lot of people do like that. A little bit of backstory on why we have that spike around the 90s and the early 2000s. That's when we really started to see the town to the east of Star, that's Eagle, growing. That became very, very, very popular in the late 90s and early 2000s. Well, as it was growing, Eagle got a bit too expensive and overgrown, so people looked to the west, Star. Things were a little bit more affordable and they could get a little bit more bang for their buck, so they moved to Star. That's why we see that growth in the late 90s and early 2000s. So an easy way to think of Star and the atmosphere of Star is just like an Eagle 2.0. And one of the many nice things about Star is that since there's so much new growth, you're going to have a variety of options to choose from just about any builder around. You have all your production builders in Star, from Toll Brothers, Lennar Homes, Hayden Homes, Corey Barton Homes, and even Hubble Homes. However, out of all these, I would definitely say that Toll Brothers definitely has the strongest foothold in Star, with 5 different master plan communities: Aliso Creek, Heirloom Ridge, Crest del Sol, Colina Vista, and the Regency and Milestone. So there is a lot to choose from on the production side of things. However, production isn't the only thing that makes up the market in Star. You can get into a variety of custom homes in the custom market in Star, which there is currently a very large demand for. Take Boise Hunter Homes, for instance. Technically, they're a developer, and they've developed several neighborhoods in the entire Boise area, and they have a couple developments in Star like Star River Ranch and River Park Estates, which is one of my favorite communities in Star. And it's one of my favorite because it brings something unique. It's like a high-end, nature-focused feel right along the Boise River. But the recurring theme with all of these custom home subdivisions and custom builders is that since Star is situated next to the Boise River, there's a lot of old gravel pits. Well, these gravel pits, because it's right next to the Boise River, they naturally fill up. So they create these really nice little lakes, and people have flocked to those because you basically get your own pond or lake in your backyard. So we see a lot of that on the custom side of things. So these custom builders build absolutely gorgeous homes backing to their own private lake. And I couldn't even begin to list all of the builders on the custom side of things who do that. However, a few come to mind: Woodbridge Pacific Group, Boise River Builders, Taylor Jean Homes, Frost Homes, and James Clyde Custom Homes. And that's one thing that you're going to notice from all of the drone footage that I have in Star, is that it's like, man, there's ponds all over the place. So a lot of people just really like that.
Johnny, we really like it.
Over the last 10 years, Star has really been making some leaps and bounds as far as growth in the business sector. Forever, Star used to be what we like to call a bedroom community. There was houses there, but that was pretty much it. There wasn't any kind of shopping, any businesses there. You pretty much just lived in Star and then went to other towns to do whatever commerce you needed to do. And all that there used to be forever was just a little mercantile. You get a little bit of gas there, you could get some of your groceries and essential stuff that you needed. However, about 10 years ago, Maverick came into Star, and it's been exploding since. We've got several new gas stations in Star, several new coffee shops, stores. We've gotten a Ridley's and Albertsons and a Bi-Mart at the moment. There's no Walmart in Star or plans for Walmart in Star, but I would not be surprised if we do see a Walmart come to Star in the near future. just this summer, we've seen a ton of growth in the restaurants. McDonald's, Dickey's, and several other fast food joints just came into Star. But the most notable is probably going to be a Starbucks. Now, I'm not a Starbucks person at all. However, there is a Starbucks effect that says whenever a Starbucks goes to a small town, that means the town is going to explode. And I could seriously see that happening with the new Highway 16 project, and the town to the east of it, Eagle, which I briefly mentioned earlier, is running out of room very fast. So the growth is just going to keep moving west, and Star is next in line. So there's pretty good indicators that Star is really going to see some rapid growth here in the near future. And I don't know how. I forgot to mention Costco, because Costco is the live store. However, there is no Costco in Star. Everybody from Star just goes down to the Costco in Meridian, which is 10 minutes, 15 minutes tops. You just hop on Highway 16 down to 2026 and you have your Costco right there. I don't foresee a Costco ever coming to Star. It won't get that big, and there are several other Costcos in close proximity to Star. When it comes to hospitals in Star, you're kind of lacking. Really, all you got is maybe like a pharmacy at a couple of the stores, and then you've got a primary health, which is just an urgent care, like a doc in the box that's in Star. So if you need any larger hospitals, you're going to be going to one of the other towns, whether it be Meridian or Nampa. In this day and age, I think everything has its very own Facebook page, and just about every town has its own Facebook page or group, Facebook group. That's a more accurate description of what it is. But Star has by far my favorite Facebook group page. I'm a member of all of the Facebook group pages in the entire Boise area, but Star is my absolute favorite. Everybody that's in there is just super lighthearted. There's always comedy, there's always laughing and friendly banter. It's a really great group. I actually have several clients who were interested in Star, and I had them join that group page, and they really get a feel for what it's like living in Star. So if that's something you're interested in, it's called Star Idaho Community News or something like that. It's a great Facebook page. I highly encourage you to go check it out, and it'll tell you everything you need to know about Star. Could you see yourself living in Star? Let me know down in the comments below what you think about Star, or if I missed something about Star. And if you enjoyed this video, you're really going to want to check out this one right here. And until next time, I'm Isaac Crace, your third generation Idaho Realtor.